Hello everyone, General 2 here, and welcome back to Transport Fever, and the year 1860. We have now paid down our loan to $3 million, which was my goal before I extended the line to Washington and Atlanta. Looking at Philadelphia, though, we're going to have to demolish at least a few buildings, and it's probably going to get pretty expensive here. This is about to be bad. That one for sure needs to go. Yeah, we'll do that. So freaking expensive. Ew! Alright, we're clear of the city now. Now, we're gonna cross the road here, go past the farm there. And up in Washington, okay. And then from Washington we need to go to Atlanta. So, I'm thinking... Yeah. So we're gonna corner the road here. Like so. And build the train station right there. 2 platforms and sticking with the length of 80 for now. Once we set this up as a trunk line, we're going to have to invest a lot of money. It's going to be very expensive. Not just in trains, but building the track and the stations. But because it's a trunk line, there'll be a lot more rail traffic. Every single station will have 2 tracks that are through tracks. And that's for trains that are going straight through, be it fast freight, express trains, or even just bulk trains that have no reason to stop. Why is speed limit 17 there? Yeah, there we go. So this was coming out of the right side, okay. But yeah, building a train station in Philadelphia is going to be crazy expensive. Gotta be prepared for that. And then in Atlanta as well. Which I'm probably just going to put at the end of this street here. 1 track. And we'll just extend that street a little bit, I think. Yeah, that's the best way to do that. Good. That's going to be a long run, Washington to Atlanta. That's going to be a very long train ride. Especially now, the speed limit's only 37 because of this track we have. I believe sometime in the 1860s we get access to better track, which will upgrade once we actually make it a trunk line. So I'm thinking for that, our goal is, well, first of all, I want my loan completely paid off because of how expensive it's going to be. But at some point during the 1860s, I can't remember exactly when, we'll get access to better locomotive and carriages. That combined with better track will all around make our trains a lot better. I like the 440, but it's got its limitations. Alright, so we'll build the depot here in Washington. Right there. Alright. Now we need to make local transit. Washington could almost have a tram line, but no, not quite. It's just got the 1 loop. That's not enough for me. We'll build it there along with its road depot. And then they'll stop there. One there. One out there. One coming back from this side. Alright, that'll do for now. Nothing horribly fancy. And then another one going the opposite direction. So, Washington Local 1 and Washington Local 2. Good. And I think let's just go with 3 for each right now. See how that does. Same thing over in Atlanta. Now, how about Atlanta? Atlanta is going to be a much bigger system, but it's still going to be road vehicles, yes. Extend this road out just a little bit more. Good. And the road depot. End of the street here. Center here, and that's supposed to cover everything, but I'm still going to do around the clock. So one here, and one here. And that'll be good. So stop the train station here, 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 and back. Opposite way round. Alright. So Atlanta Local 1 and Atlanta Local 2. And I'm thinking 4 for starters for each. 1, 2, 3, 4. Atlanta Local 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Atlanta Local 2. All that's left now is the trains themselves. And actually probably renaming these. So this is Atlanta Terminal. And this one is Washington Terminal. Okay, perfect. Now we need 2 rail routes. One goes from Washington to Philadelphia. And the other one goes from Washington to Atlanta. Now I need 2 trains, same old size. And not enough money. That's what I was afraid of. Alright, 8 million. I suppose we could be worse. But still, though, 8 million. Now, it is probably going to take a little bit for these lines to get started, though it won't be as bad as our original lines because we already have some very active lines to the north. Especially for Philadelphia to Washington. At least, that's what I'm hoping. So, I've decided that although a lot of our local transient lines need work, I'm going to hold off on it until we build the trunk line because all of our train services have adequate service to have pretty much a full train every single time. Our freight wagons are doing pretty well as well. Yeah, not too bad. This one, the one that goes to New York, is averaging between 50 and 60K a year. And this one seems to have dropped to like 25K a year, but it's still a profit. Well covers the loan interest that I was paying on them. And now I'm not paying loan interest on them at all. There's a lot of stone here, though. Holy crap. Oh, boy. Yeah, it's probably going to take at least the rest of the year to get these lines operational, but all in good time, all in good time. So, let's take this time to have a look at the industry nearby. So over here we got a farm. But it needs grain to produce livestock, which there are no grain farms around here. We got a chemical plant, which is crude oil, which we don't have any of that around either. More of the same, dairy farms over here. Do we have any places that actually produce grain on the map? I don't think we do. Hold on, actually, I think that just helps production. I think they can... No, actually I think it does. Okay. But yeah, there isn't a single one on the map. Now, if we did want to build one, we'd be looking at... No, that's not it. I'm looking for a regular grain farm. How hard is that? Alright, that's a grain silo. So I guess that just... Oh, okay, that's just what it looks like. But yeah, it's a regular grain farm, but building industries costs us like 100 million, so that's out of the picture. Unfortunately, that's just the way the scenario's set up, because it wasn't designed with an industry mod I have installed in mind. Let's see. We do have some lumber over here, though. Another construction materials plant, but we're just going to be operating out of the one. If they need construction materials down here, we'll ship it down here by rail eventually. Anyway. Still no one using these yet. I'm just going to speed up time, I think. But, yeah, Philadelphia is a busy town. It was just large to begin with. We don't really have any industry operating out of here, but it's just really grown with the railroad. Yeah, that thing needs to be upgraded. I'm really surprised though, there's absolutely no lumber production in the north, like at all. Not in Michigan, not in northern Canada, not in upstate New York. There's a sawmill, but no lumber mill. Like that actually produces lumber. Um, Out west here, we got some oil producers. So yeah, they just produce crude oil, plain and simple. And then oil refineries produce crude oil and fuel, which are both important for further in the production chain, which there aren't too many around yet. I mean, we got the chemical plant, but that's about it. Huh, there's actually a refinery all the way out here. Never noticed that before. Oh, we got passengers waiting in Atlanta already. That's a good sign. Alright, where are you guys trying to go? How far away? Alright, you're trying to go to Washington. Well, that's good. We're starting to get passengers. Yeah, pretty much everyone's just getting to Washington. That's fine. You'll start to see people wanting to travel longer distances once we get trains that don't dead end at every single station. Looks like we'll be able to drop our loan down to at least 750 this year. That's good. But the nefarious time skip is gonna happen. I might do some cinematic videos here and there, but until we get this loan paid off, there's not a lot I could do. Once we get the trunk line open and we're making a lot more money, it'll be different. We'll be making at least a couple million a year once the trunk line really starts going. I'm speaking from experience here, because you'll have more express trains, and you'll have a lot more passengers across the board, and you'll have freight moving long distances on top of it. What we're making off of this truck line, this is nothing. When, say, we haul a stone from here to the construction plant in a train long enough that we need 2 locomotives, and then from there we've got freight trains hauling it off in all directions, trucks hauling it off in all directions, the money adds up fast. Of course, there's no telling how long it'll be, but once we get to like the mid-1870s, 1880s, we're going to be doing very well for ourselves. Now, that being said, expanding our lines is still going to break our bank. Like, I'm saying making big addition to our lines, like making another rail line, say, to Chicago, is going to break our bank still. But we'll make it up very fast. Trains pull the weight of your budget in this game. They are just the big money makers. Sometime before 1900, at least, I'm going to have a ship line going from New York to Miami. But I'm waiting until I get actual stagecoaches before I connect Miami with Atlanta. Just so it's not quite as bad. And 9 is better than 0. how about Washington? Yeah, you got some for both. Philadelphia, let's see. I got some for Washington at least. But yeah, all these cities we started with are already exploding. Well, we've already been playing for 10 years. But trunk lines, so how that's going to go is every through station is going to have a platform on the right side and the left side that these regular passenger trains are stopping at. In the center will be 2 railroad tracks that are for through. And then once we start having more freight travel by rail, we'll actually have a freight station, basically a rail yard off to the right or left depending. For the time being, that is going to cause us some problems because it'll have to cross both lines, but there's not that much of a better way to do it. I mean, eventually, like in the 20th century, rail traffic will be bad enough that we'll have to quadruple track, but I'm not even thinking about that right now. Alright, down to 7.5. Alright guys, that's going to be about it for this episode. I'm going to do a bunch of time skipping. I might do some episodes where we just check out the routes a little bit, but really what I'm doing now is trying to pay off this loan again that we had to take out to build this short rail line, because trains are expensive and so is demolishing buildings. But anyway, that's going to be it for today guys. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.